Well, the Royal Children's Hospital is celebrating a liver transplant milestone. In the past 17 years, the hospital has given 100 sick children a new lease on life. Today, transplant recipients, their families and staff from the hospital got together to mark the occasion. These are the faces of the first liver transplant recipient and the 100th. For the Royal Children's Hospital, it's a milestone they're proud to celebrate.
This has been a wonderful achievement for the hospital, 100 liver transplants in very sick small children over a 17-year period.
Jordan Griffin was only 11 months old when she had the first ever paediatric liver transplant back in 1995. Now 17, she says the support from the hospital staff made all the difference.
It means everything to me. It's really been my life support for my whole life.
Jordan was the youngest child to receive a liver transplant, and while it was a complete success, it was an anxious time for her family.
There weren't any other children transplanted that we could actually look at and see how they were improving or how they'd actually dealt with the transplant.
Looking at 20-month-old Stasha Belladinelli, it's hard to believe she was ever ill, but she was born with a form of liver disease known as biliary atresia.
And this time last year, she was very jaundiced, nasal gastric tube, feeding tube, a lot of medications. But now, to look at her now, it's just totally amazing.
Even though he's only 14, Mohammed El Shazli has spent more time in hospital than most people do in their whole lives. Earlier this year, he became the first Australian paediatric intestinal transplant recipient. He was given a new liver, small bowel and pancreas.
They made me better and I could go home now and live life normally.
Our life is totally changed after his operation. He is much happier.
The hospital has performed 8 transplants so far this year compared to only 2 in 1995. Gloria Cleish, ABC News, Melbourne.
Thanks, Darren. Around 150 patients, children, doctors and nurses have celebrated a milestone for the Royal Children's Hospital Liver Transplant Unit. The hospital has now saved the lives of 100 young patients since performing its first transplant 17 years ago.
We're now focusing on studies on improving the lives of children long term after transplant. How well do they do at school? How can we change our protocols to improve their lives?
Families and recipients who owe their lives to the hospital were on hand to join the party.
Patients, parents and doctors gathered to mark the 100th liver transplant at the Royal Children's Hospital. As Chloe Bugelli reports, the milestone was particularly special for 17-year-old Jordan Griffin, the first child to undergo the landmark surgery back in 1995.
Jordan Griffin was just 9 months old when she became the youngest liver transplant patient in the country. And just look at her now. Dozens of the Royal Children's Hospital's success stories gathered to celebrate 100 life-saving transplants.
I owe them my life. Every day that I live, I want to live it to the full because they're the reason I'm here and it's my second chance at life.
Little Stasha is the newest liver transplant recipient. She underwent surgery in December when a liver finally became available.
It was just a godsend. It really was just a blessing, and I could not thank the donor family enough.
But some families, like little Lola's, are still desperately waiting for that life-saving call.
Just to see the changes in her skin, I guess just her motor skills, her whole development and everything, yeah, it'll be amazing.
Since 1995, the number of liver transplants done here at the Royal Children's has increased by 500%. And advancements in technology and research mean they're now able to be done on much smaller, sicker babies.
We're improving our processes, our ability to manage rejection and our ability to keep very small, sick children alive while they're waiting for their transplant.
Chloe